And here's the discussion on the JDM rear bumper cover. So I installed this and I got it to work, as you can see here, right? And the original USDM bumper is sitting on the ground over here, right? Pretty cool. Everything bolted up, everything mounted in the same location, except this one right here. I had to take off my rear reinforcement bar, as well as the padding, the styrofoam padding. So one of the reasons is, look at this. Looks a little different, right? For US people, wouldn't you say that looks a little different? Let's compare that with that's a 2008. Compare that to the 06, right? Here it is. Of course, this one's got the arrow bumper down here. But do you notice something? See how far back the bumper cover sticks out? Versus how far this one does not stick out. So that's the difference. The JDM bumper cover, this is how much lip you get. Let's get to this edge right here, right? So from the center, you get about 1.5 inches, if at all, right? 1.5 inches to the edge of the bumper cover. The US 06 bumper, man, that's long. From the middle, that is right there, right? About 3.5. So 2 inches longer at that point, right? Just for giggles, let's check out the 08. The 08 is, yeah, a little 3.25. It looks a little less dramatic on the 08. But so there you go. As I said, you will get it to work. But another one of the differences I discussed, and the reason my tailpipes are sitting on the ground, is this part right here, right? The opening on the JDM bumper is barely 7 inches, right? That's just cutting it across, cutting that, you know, tip to tip, basically. Okay, let's just call it 7. However, this one here, let's look at the 08, sorry, the 06. The 06, tip to tip, it's about 8.5, right? And then right here, cutting across the stock tailpipes, the tips, right? It's just 6 inches wide, so that would fit in there. And as you can see, it's kind of hanging low a little bit. Over here, the tips that I had, the tips that I got from, you know, that I bought the car with, these are 8 inches. As a result, there was a little bit of an obstruction here that would not work, so that's why I had to remove them. And never thought I'd be doing this, but I'm looking for exhaust mufflers so I can try them on here. If not, I'll probably just go ahead and get a single tip over here, something oval or something like that, you know, something that looks like the 2011 M. Anyway, so I'm not going to make that video too long, any longer than it needs to be, but I just wanted to cover those things. That yes, this bumper cover installs in exactly the same place. If I had the motivation, I would have made the mud flaps work as well. Here it is. It looks just a little odd over here, I thought. Man, some serious rash. It doesn't look that bad in real life, by the way. But if you look at this, right, I mean, it's not too bad. It's just a little bit of a notch over there. It's just that this one was not pre-drilled for it. Refer to my earlier video and remember something I talked about having, well, 2 holes. So you have this here and the receiver clip for it, you know, where you screw into that. You have the bottom one, and those two match to these two up here. Then this one down here is this one out here on the bumper. So if I wanted to make it work, I would just drill that bumper and transfer these over, but I'm not interested in putting the mud flaps right now. For now, I'm gonna ride like that for a while. I really, for the most part, like to keep things legal, especially if it's something I'm gonna sell. So part of me wants to have that reinforcement bar back onto the car, but for now, I'll kind of enjoy the look for a while, you know? Okay, well, I hope that helps. I hope that clarifies, talks about some of the differences. So for now, let's call it goodbye. All right. It's a JDM bumper, so it came from one of the Fugas, Nissan Fuga. So that's how they pronounce it, right? So here we go. There are a few differences to note. One, down here, it looks a little different, right? It's a little more rounded. I think it was made for a single tip, larger single tip, versus this one here. Well, look, let's look at the silver one. Here it is. You can see it's wider, right? It accommodates two narrow tips. So the measurement here on the stock one is about 8.5, approximately, with a little bit of a curve. Cool. So about 8.5 versus this one here. This is the JDM one again. It's about 6 3/4. All right. That's gonna pose a little bit of a problem because whoever owned the car before me got these two tips here, did a muffler delete and got two large tips that measure about 8, and as you can see, there's a little bit of contact over here, right, and a little bit of it here too. So this is something most people don't have to worry about, but I'll be changing that out. I'll be taking care of that. As a result of this, I couldn't find a proper US bumper in the proper color and all that. So as a result of that, save a little bit of money on getting a US bumper, but I'm gonna spend some money in changing out the exhaust tips. So maybe that's something I'll do during the video as well. Not sure. For now, I'm gonna remove that. Another thing you'll notice as for difference is this. See the bottom here? See how it looks? There's like a clearly marked out. It's still part of the same molding, I think. It's just that this part was not painted. See? This other side kind of has it as well, right? It just does not seem as aggressive. You can see it's glossy all the way to the bottom, and it does not have a clear marking where the bumper kind of splits, right? So once I remove that, I'll lay them side by side and we'll look at it a little more. This is the old bumper cover. Can you see some differences? Like right there, where the tailpipe comes through. See how it looks like versus that, right? But I believe pretty much they're gonna fit. You know, I'm just looking at them, aligning them as best as I can, and it seems like everything is in the right place. So here you go. That's your comparison of the JDM bumper versus the USDM bumper.